What's going on, guys? Well, I am doing a bit of a tiptoe around my GSXR 750, and what I am up to, as witnessed by the zip tie on the fork and the slacker hooked up to this machine, I am taking some measurements in terms of rider sag. I'm also coming through and making adjustments to the clutch end free play, as well as the throttle end free play. Setting the brake up to where it feels comfortable, just little stuff like that. Now, I do have to apologize initially because I was trying to get you guys video of me checking the sag on this bike, and unfortunately the camera just, well, it was too difficult to get the actual readings. So I'll just go ahead and tell you straight away that the front sag on this bike from the factory is set right at 37 millimeters, and the rear is right at 36 with me sitting on the bike. Now, that is with me weighing right at 200 pounds. Interestingly enough, that is basically the same as I have my GSXR 1000 set up after some trial and error, but that motorcycle, as compared to this one, has a significantly stiffer rear spring. So yes, the sag may be similar, but the riding characteristics are definitely not the same. I'll tell you what, let me try this real quick for you guys. So the slacker is set up using these little hooks that you see right here. Basically, this is all it is. That backing will peel right off and this will stick on the bike as this has. It pops right off, but if you ever see one of these things on a motorcycle, it's because they're using a device to actually set up the sag. Now, the way that this thing would work is, let me show you, I get my hand right up underneath here, but you don't want to have your hand anywhere near where it's hooked up, because just barely flexing the plastic, you can actually end up getting additional numbers thrown in there. So what we're going to do is we're just going to lift up on the bike and measure static. Just lifting up. So it'll usually bottom out somewhere around 8 millimeters as static. And the funny thing is this bike, I can almost lift this thing. It's so light. Anyway, 8 millimeters is static, and then sitting on the bike, let me see if I can make this work. Yeah, this is difficult to do. It's probably showing a number somewhere around 28. I can't even see the camera, but the more forward you lean, the smaller that number is going to get. So I'll typically check that number as I do sit on the bike, as I'm riding it, not perched up like I'm riding a horse, and that's the number that I'll go with. Up front is definitely an easier story to illustrate. So the BPF forks have 120 millimeters of total travel, and I don't really ever mess with static sag, guys. I just go for the outright sag because I already know what the travel is on these shocks or forks. Anyway, I'll sit on the bike wherever the top of your trusty zip tie, the tried and true method, falls into place. Just measure the difference between this measurement and 120, and that'll give you your total rider sag. And in this case, it came out to 37 millimeters up front. One thing about sag, guys, I know a lot of people really dive into that and take it very seriously. For the street, I'm just looking for a range. I like around 37 up front, 35 out back. If it's within a millimeter or two up and down from that, I typically don't sweat it. I do like, for the pivot number though, I like to just lock in at 37 up front, and like I say, out back, it depends on the bike. The 750, this thing is great at around 36. I will say this, it is a great riding bike from the factory with the hydraulics. In other words, the compression and rebound settings on the shock and fork. I'm not even touching that. As good as they are, I am going nowhere near them because I don't think I can improve as good as this bike is from the factory. Oh yeah, so after one tank of gas, as is customary, I'm gonna be doing a little bit of adjustment on that chain, it looks like, here pretty soon. It's very common on a new bike to have, I would say, I've had bikes that would have an adjustment per tank of gas, depending on how hard I was riding them. That levels out after a while to where, you just keep an eye on it. But yeah, for the first few tanks of gas, don't be surprised if you're adjusting that chain quite a bit. Okay, so guys, for the clutch, let me just show you, you're looking at this gap right there, okay? What I like for the way that I ride is I like, hear that little click? That's me. This is where the linkage goes to your clutch. What I'm doing is I'm just popping it, making sure that there is a little bit of slack there. The reason for that is everybody's a little bit different, and you may choose to adjust this lever to where your friction zone is further back. You would just do that by adjusting this adjuster back this way. Some guys use their whole hand. Other guys use just a couple of fingers. I'm a couple of fingers guy, using these knuckles as a stop. And so just the way my brain is wired, I like for it to be a little bit further out. Some of you guys may want it further in, but that's how I adjust my clutch. As far as the throttle goes, this one for me is very important. I like there to be very little slack and just a little slight amount of movement. The thing is the GSXR 750 comes with what I believe to be, is it 66 or 68 degrees of rotation? So it's still a fairly quick rotating throttle. But even with that, you don't want a lot of slack for those quick blip downshifts. A quick trick for you guys is these little marks here. There's 6 of them around the throttle itself. And if you've got 6 of them, you got 360 degrees in a circle. That means you've got 60 degrees of rotation. So watch the tip of that. And we're going to rotate this to what? And you could almost make the case that this is a 60-degree throttle, but believe it or not, there's about a millimeter or two more in there. It's why I say it's not 60, maybe it's 66, just a little bit more turn. But again, a quick throttle nonetheless, and just making it tight so that it doesn't bind. The way that you do that, there's a adjuster right here. And what you're gonna do is you're just gonna adjust this out right here. This is a lock nut. You'll turn this to where you're moving the assembly or the cable assembly that way, just so that you don't have any excess slack. And then when you get done, just put your boot back over that. There you go. I need to kind of unfold that. It's kind of folded up in on itself, but you get the idea, I think. Okay, now for the brake lever, this is where things get fun. I've got to have mine way out because, you know, having a little bit longer hands, I've got to be able to, and I do single finger braking. Some guys like 2, other guys will do the whole lobster claw thing. I'm a single, and I've got to have this thing out nice and far. And so luckily the factory lever at 5 all the way out, it's pretty comfortable for me. So initially I thought I was going to put a set of levers on this bike. Come to find out, I may not end up needing to put levers on it. We'll see. So guys, this is a cool feature on the GSXR 750. It does have 3-way adjustable rider rear set and shifter control. So what do I mean by that? Well, if you look right here, you'll see, if I can get this around, you'll have a hole down here. There's actually another hole back on the other side of this rear assembly. What you can do is you can actually scoot these rear sets back, or you can set them down a little bit more. And if you look down right here, you'll see that there is a threaded spot right here. There's also one right underneath that shifter to move the shifter assembly along with your rear set. Now, right now, mine's in the factory position, which is the highest up and the furthest forward. And for me, it's actually pretty comfortable. I'm just shy of 6 feet tall with a 32-inch inseam, and this bike feels eerily comfortable even with its most aggressive setting. If you're taller, scooting those pegs back or down may help you if it just makes it more comfortable. Look, either way, you've got some adjustability within the factory components to really make this bike your own and add to the comfort and the enjoyment of this thing, which I think is super cool. So with that, guys, I'm going to get back to work. Hopefully you enjoyed the walk around of the GSXR 750, and you'll come back by, check out some more of the updates on this bike. But I'm going to get back to it, so y'all take care. Thanks again. Okay, guys, so bonus track. Listen, There's something about old school bikes. The GSXR 750 has not been updated for like forever, and it still has one of the best old school traits ever, and that is a cavernous trunk, baby. Hell yeah. I love it. Anyway, just one of the more endearing things about these old school style GSXR middleweights. All right, now it's a wrap.